natural gas becomes a liquid at minus 162 degrees Celsius. At that point, it shrinks to 1/600th of its volume. 600 rooms full of gas collapse into one room full of liquid, and that is the only reason a ship can carry it across an ocean at all. But the plant that does this has a strange first job. Before it cools anything, it spends hours pulling things out of the gas that must never reach the cold end. So, how do you chill something that far without turning it to ice on the way? Get one of them wrong, and the whole plant blocks solid. Here is what actually happens. The raw gas arrives from the field, and it is not pure methane. It carries carbon dioxide, water, mercury, and heavier gases like ethane, propane, and butane. Every one of those behaves differently in the cold, and none of them behaves well. The gas first meets a scrubbing tower filled with a liquid called an amine. The amine grabs the carbon dioxide and holds on to it. This matters because carbon dioxide does not stay a gas down there. At around minus 78 degrees, it turns straight into a solid, into dry ice. And dry ice inside a heat exchanger is not a nuisance, it is a plug. Next come the dryers. Beds of hard, porous beads pull the water vapor out until the gas is drier than desert air. Water freezes earlier than anything else in the stream, and it freezes hard. Then, a bed of activated carbon takes out the mercury. There is very little of it in the gas. It still has to go, because the heat exchangers further along are built from aluminium, and mercury eats aluminium from the inside. A plant lost an exchanger to exactly that decades ago. Nobody has skipped the step since. Now, a tall column separates the heavier gases. Ethane, propane, and butane come off as products of their own, and some of them walk straight back into the plant as the coolant. The gas that leaves this column is finally almost pure methane. Only now does the cooling start. And it happens in two stages, because one is not enough. The first stage is a propane circuit. Propane is compressed until it is hot, cooled back down with seawater or air, then allowed to expand. Expanding gas gets cold, the same way an aerosol can go cold in your hand. That circuit pulls the natural gas down to roughly minus 35 degrees. So, why not just build a bigger propane circuit for the second stage? Because propane runs out of cold long before you get there. The second stage uses a mixture instead, of nitrogen, methane, ethane, and propane together. Here is why that matters. A pure substance boils at a single temperature. A mixture boils across a whole range of them. So the coolant can stay just slightly colder than the natural gas at every point on the way down. Nothing is thrown away on a mismatch. The two streams meet inside a spiral-wound heat exchanger. It is a steel tube several stories tall, with kilometers of tubing coiled around a core inside it. Air Products supplies them to a large share of the plants in the world. The gas goes in warm at the bottom. It comes out at the top at minus 162 degrees. Then a valve drops the pressure. The last of the heat leaves with the vapor, and what pours into the storage tank is a clear liquid that looks like water and weighs about half as much. The tank never fully stops. A little of the liquid boils off every hour, no matter how good the insulation is, and that vapor has to go somewhere. So, why not skip all of this and simply squeeze the gas instead? Pressure works for the propane in a barbecue cylinder. It does not work here. Methane has a critical temperature of minus 82 degrees, and above that line, no pressure on Earth will turn it into a liquid. Not 1,000 bar, not 10,000. Cold is not one option among several here. It is the only door there is, which is the answer to the question this started with. The plant is not a freezer, and it is not a compressor. It is a machine built to take heat out of a substance that flatly refuses to be squeezed, while keeping every part of it above the temperature where it would turn to ice and stop the whole thing. If you want to know how the machines behind your electricity, your heating, and your car actually work, that is what this channel takes apart, one at a time. Subscribing costs you nothing and keeps the next one in front of you. and the gas that reaches your boiler as a faint whisper of pressure may have crossed an ocean as a cold, heavy liquid in a tank that was never once allowed to freeze.